Yo, welcome back to another episode of Texas Underground. I am your host, JVaz, and as always, this show is brought to you by La Conecta. Make sure you check them out at shoplaconecta.com. We got the air fresheners. We got different characters of air fresheners. Usually it's easier to show you these, but, you know, we got different characters. We got the Cut energy drink para que andes al 100. We got the different kind of hats. Muévete. I'm not going to say the full, but you can read it. Telocico, that's actually Garza's thing. We got stickers. We got the lanyards here. All kinds of cool things, man. Rolling trays, if that's your thing. We also got that. So make sure you guys check them out at shoplaconecta.com. Also brought to you by GT Music Distribution. If you're an independent artist looking to take your music to the next level, make sure you check them out at www.gtdigitaldistribution.com, and they will help you take your music there. Join us today, man. This is cool because it's the first time we step out of hip-hop. Ew. This is cool. Ew. This is cool. And what's even cooler is about a year ago, without even knowing you, you popped up on somewhere. I don't even know if it was Facebook or Instagram. But before we get into that, joining us today from San Antonio, Texas,
hi,
Jenny B.
What's poppin'? What's going on, my dude? How have thou been? I love it when I leave them speechless. I love it when I leave them speechless.
But then when you busted out the other words, I was like, I don't even know what that means anymore.
How are you?
Asking how I'm doing.
Yeah, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm really, really happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm happy to have you here because, like I said, life works in mysterious ways. A year ago, I really, no disrespect, but I had no idea who you were. Yet you showed up, and I was like, I'm going to talk about her on my podcast. We were doing a segment where we would talk about artists that we talked about, that we randomly ran into and we would like to bring light to. And you had done a song. It was Beso de Amor.
Beso de Amor, yeah.
Beso de Amor, which actually I think was released last year around this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the visual and I heard the music and I was like, bro, I haven't heard Tejano music like in a long time. So to be able to hear it was kind of
like
cool.
that, yeah.
And that's what brought me into knowing who you were from Beso de Amor. Mm-hmm. Before we get into the interview, just a quick little side note. I didn't know that was your introduction into Tejano.
Yeah, that was my first single that we had did because originally I did pop music and then we crossed over into Tejano, just trying to start more at home type of feel.
Yeah.
And it did really good. You know, when you put out a single or a song, you don't think it's gonna do that well because it's the first one in that genre and it took off. It did really, really good. It was on all the charts, was on the radio. And it's been really good since then. We just keep moving up. The numbers are adding up, the streams are adding up, YouTube's adding up. So it's been great. A lot has happened since the last time you saw me.
Yeah, it was cool for me as a fan of music. Like I said, I grew up around Tejano music. I grew up in McAllen, Texas, right there at the border. We had, obviously, we listened to Selena. We listened to Palominos.
Yeah,
my mind's gonna go blank, of course, but you get it. We listened to
it was hardcore back then, like in the '90s area. It was like
being a kid in the bus and the bus drivers playing Tejano music. You're in there jamming, So then I heard your music and I was like, bro, this is so dope. Because now, I mean, I'm sure Tejano music's still active. Again, Palominos and them are still active. Yeah. But to hear a new artist come out and
take you back.
Because
I specifically had remembered your review. And I told my dad, I sent it to my dad, because I was like, Dad, this is a hip hop station. And they're like loving the song. And the way you're like, man, I feel like it took you back to those days when you were younger because the way it sounded. And that's exactly what we were trying to go for. So you made it a lot for me, with that comics. I was like, dude, I freaking did something right. Like, oh my God.
That's what I was trying to do. No, and really that's how it made me feel. And that's why even though we were hip hop, I was like, I told my co-host at the time, I was like, we are Texas music. Yeah. I like, so technically Tejano, why not? Let's talk about it. He's like, man, do whatever you want to do. I was like, cool, we'll talk about it. And that's awesome. That's how we had you on here. But just to give people, again, we are a mainly hip hop, podcast, but bringing you on here for the first time, it's a Tejano music, period that we've ever had, just to give people a quick idea of who Jenny B is and whatnot. Did you grow up around Tejano music or
Hell
you
yeah.
did say you did pop at first.
Yeah.
But just give us a quick rundown of growing up around music.
Yeah, so I did grow up with Tejano music. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. Pretty much lived there all my life. Spent a little bit of time in Corpus. But Tejano has always, music in general, really, was always a big part of my upcoming. But, my dad and my uncles and my grandfather were in a band, and everybody lived at my house. They were bumming off of me at the time. I was all a kid. But, they were just chasing the dream, and sometimes you got to make sacrifices. And so we all lived in one home. And all of the rehearsals and the practice, everything was at my house. So I always had the mic there. And I, luckily for them, love the attention. So I, it just came real natural to me. But English is my first language, and for the most part, my only language. And I'm not that fluent in Spanish, so don't be too harsh on me, okay? It's not my fault. But
blame my parents.
Yes, blame them, okay? I'm only a child. But yeah, so I naturally wanted to go into the pop stuff, and we tried it for a bit, and I feel like I found who Jenny B was with my pop, with the artist development stages and everything, and my brand and my image, what I want to look like. But my dad's like, okay, that's cool, but bring that over here to Tejano, because like Tejano could use it, I mean, not to throw any shade in, everybody's doing great in Tejano, but in all reality, like Tejano standards were not what they used to be.
I mean, to be honest, it's like I said, it stands still.
Everyone thinks it's dead. So what does that tell you?
It's probably dead.
It's not dead. That's honest to God. Like, if we're being for real, when my dad brought it up to me, I was like, "There's no Tejano. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's everyone just listens to the old stuff no more. What do you?" And I had to dive into the community, into the Tejano community, to realize that it's not dead. There's still radio stations. There's still concerts. Still, I mean, Elida's in Mexico right now doing a whole tour. Like, it's still there. It's just not on the standard that it was back when it was popping in the 90s, So me and along with other great artists, both male and female, we're bringing it back. We're trying to bring it back. We're trying to bring it back to our generation, to liking it like the way that generation liked it at our age. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
Full circle.
Put the mathematical filter right here in front of me. What? She just said. But yeah, so that's just what we're trying to do. We're just trying to, bring back Tejano, because Tejano's so much fun. I mean, there's still cumbia, but cumbia is its own thing internationally, But Tejano, I feel, it's fun. It's, I mean, pretty much, if you will, equivalent to country. Country
Basically,
is always danceable. So is Tejano, but in Spanish.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
When I think of Tejano music, I love Tejano music. And again, not just because I grew up around, right at the border, but Tejano music has that, it could be sad because of the lyrics, but it has that happy feeling in the music.
Yeah.
And then the delivery of the music is kind of like, damn, am I sad or where am I at?
That's when you got the bottle and you're just like, but you move it.
So, and that's one of the main reasons I like Tejano, because it's like, it takes you into a sad spot, but at the same time it makes you feel happy with the music, and then just the delivery of the music.
Yep.
And so it's not all the way sad. You know what
Right.
I mean? But one of the things that I wanna, I guess, put a little light on, right? We'll talk about your single that you dropped here last month, Selena.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that here in a second. But the reason I bring that up is because I want to talk about your influences in the Tejano scene. Obviously, you say your dad and uncles were in the band, so I'm assuming that was the beginning stages of being influenced. Mm-hmm. But what artists did you grow up admiring to be like, you know what? At some point in my life, I'm gonna make Tejano music like them. Besides Selena, because we'll talk about Selena in a second.
Man, besides Selena, I listened to a lot of music. It wasn't just like the pop, like obviously, J-Lo, Ashanti, same person. I would listen to, like, because I would work in the shop with my dad a lot, so there was a lot of like rock, Stephen Perry. I wouldn't blink as well, but
once you start to make a list,
it's the lights.
It's over.
It's the lights. Yeah. So, but what I'm trying to get at is that there was different genres that, but I always, I guess, honed in on the pop stuff. So J-Lo, back when she was doing like Waiting for Tonight. Oh, so that was like, I want that bad, I was like, dang, like I love the glitter, the sparkle, the sexy, the Latina-ness of it behind it. At that time when, she was like LL Cool J and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The fur, and I couldn't afford it. Like that was just like, I wanted to do that, but with more color. Like I'm very bubbly. I'm very, as you can see, I'm very colorful. I'm everywhere.
I mean, the atmosphere had changed from the previous guests to now.
I could tell.
So I see it.
I nearly wanted to walk out myself.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You'll never know who it was.
No,
You'll never know. So it could have been anybody previously.
He's going to be watching like,
which episode got
when is she
released?
going?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I feel like I can't really pin it on just one artist. I pick a lot from both my singing, the type of person that I want to be, both in and out of the stage. Like, I picked off from a lot of people. I just picked what I like and claimed it as mine.
See, you said something earlier that it's funny because I literally wrote this on my notes. I wanted to talk about reviving Tejano music because, I mean, again, technically it's not dead.
Right.
Obviously, Palominos are still active. You have all kinds of new bands.
Mas, well, not Mas, but
Mas, but you get it. Yeah. It's crazy how he's still making music. But whatever.
No, for real.
We'll talk about that later. This is your fault because we're not supposed. But it is kind of dead now. And just a quick example, we're in Houston now, but when we have Tejano night, there's not a Tejano artist worth bringing, unfortunately. That's gonna fill up.
And that's crazy because you've known about me for about a year.
Well, hold on, but that's what I'm about to get. That's what I'm. I think she wants to throw something at me. I don't know. No, but I say that to say, what in your opinion, what needs to be done to bring that light back again to Tejano, to where it's like, hey, Tejano is still alive, and we can still bring a Tejano artist to an event like the Houston Rodeo. In your opinion?
I think it just needs to be fresh, fun, and new. Unless the classics want to make it harder on themselves, trying to make it fun, fresh, and new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like it's with any genre. Hip hop. Like you had your like Snoop Dogg and all them, and then eventually these newer guys started coming. J. Cole, and I'm not real big on hip hop, so don't start. Well, the names I'm throwing out there, but I like J. Cole. But you know what I'm saying? Instead of going against them, they started working with them. We were just talking about that earlier, how they, in order to stay relevant, they brought in the newer, generation, or was helping them, trying to make, and I just feel like that's kind of lacking in Tejano in some areas. I'm not saying everybody, but in some spots it's lacking, and it's pushing against the grain. It's pushing against the waves, But yeah, I feel like, we got to do in a way what Selena did. At the time, Tejano was big in 70s. It was that 70s Tejano. But it didn't start popping like that until Emilio, Selena, Mas. Like they brought this like fresh sound, this look, everybody was, tucking in their shirts, wearing a belt. Like the presentation was there. Yeah. And it was exciting, and it was danceable, and it was just like good time. That's why anybody that thinks about Tejano, especially me, I'm thinking about all the parties we had. There was beer. It's just the family was together. Every time I hear Tejano, it takes me back to those times because it was a good time.
Yeah.
And now it just seems like it's forced on some people. Like they just have to do it because, well, they're asking us to come, not because they don't want to.
Yeah.
So.
To what you said earlier, and I find this very interesting because I think you're right.
Of course I am.
The torch never got passed down, right? Because Selena was about to just become the biggest Tejano artist, and unfortunately, she was taken away. Mm-hmm. Mas, if you know the story behind that, whatever. So that put a stop to that, and then Emilio never really. I mean, he just
Emilio was more like I think in Mexico. Emilio was more international. He went where the money went, and then unfortunately everything that happened with that tragedy. And then like, I don't know, dude. I don't know what happened. It just, can somebody tell me? Like it just, anybody in the crowd? It just kind of just, I feel like the early 2000s came and everyone was like in that awkward, weird like stage where they were kind of making it more like rock.
Yeah.
Tejano rock. And then I don't know, dude. I don't know what happened.
And then also blame the fans, because again, you know, we still have La Mafia, and I blame the fans.
Oh,
because we're so stuck into that old sound that sometimes we're and not just with Tejano, but like hip hop and stuff.
Yeah,
we're like, oh, but she's not better than so and so.
Oh,
and it's like,
man.
bro, we're not here to compete with nobody. Can you just appreciate me as a good artist?
I absolutely hate that. I hate it. Okay, for a good example, Gabriela Martinez, like, you know, she came into the game originally because, you know, she was singing the Selena songs, which every Latina girl does, you know.
Yeah.
And at first people were loving it, but then they started backlashing her, like, oh, well, you know, you'll never be Selena, and she always put on like, I'm not trying to be Selena. Like, y'all are telling me I sound like Selena. She never said like, check me out, I sound just like. She never said that.
Yeah, they
started that, you know. And it's tough, dude, because even when I get off stage, I've had a couple people tell me like, like you remind me so much of, or you know, you're the next Selena and this and that. And I'm like, please don't say that. Yeah, you know. It puts a label, and once they put that label, it's really hard to take off.
Yeah.
You know, so nobody's trying to be Selena. You know, we grew up with Selena. Yeah, me personally, I know I've been told that I move like Selena. That's not my fault. Okay, I grew up, she was my idol. Of course I'm gonna throw in a couple moves. Not my fault she took all the good moves. Okay, so
my fault I was 2 when this happened.
Okay, so I really wish people would stop doing that. I mean, it's a great compliment, but once the compliment is said, that's fine. You know, let me show you what kind of artist I can be.
Yeah.
You know, of course.
And that's what I wanted to say as a fan. That's where we're wrong to make those comparisons, because again, like I say, it puts that label on you.
Yeah.
And wherever you go, oh, she never said she was going to be better than Selena. And it happens like with hip hop. I've interviewed artists, that female artists, great artists.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she'll never be Snow the Product. Bro, nobody even said anything like that. Like, stop. But to what you said, let's talk about Selena right quick. You did a tribute song, Vivirás, Selena.
Yes.
Again, as a fan that, you know, is open-minded, I loved it.
Oh, yay.
I loved it. Because, again, you're doing your intentions to give tribute to Selena.
Yeah.
And it's cool because you mentioned on there how she's forever going to live because of the way she treated people. This is what I'm hearing.
Anyways. Yeah.
You know, and it's true because she died. I don't even want to say the day because I'm going to mess it up and they're going to, you know.
He doesn't
the internet's
know.
Gonna get
he
me.
Doesn't know.
92, 93,
He's
whatever.
A fan. Question mark.
But it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you know, people still wearing her shirts. People
March
still
31st.
playing her songs. Huh?
March 31st, 1995.
1995. You get it? You see, that's what I meant. 1995. I was a kid too. I don't remember.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
But, so you did this tribute. What kind of feedback did you get when you put this tribute out?
Luckily, I got nothing but good feedback. You know, usually I was ready. I was prepared for people to be like, you know, she's just trying to get this off Selena, blah, blah, blah. Which it wasn't that. You know, all the royalties, all that stuff goes to the right people. I'm making zero money off of that music as far as like the streams and stuff. And, you know, I'm not selling no merch on it or anything like that. But so far, I've gotten really good feedback because I feel like the only feedback I did get was all positive or emotional. People were really emotional by the video, which wasn't intentional, cool. But it's like I had told my parents, I feel like the song made people realize that we all still have such an emotional connection to that death.
Yeah.
Like to that robbery that we had of her life and of her music and everything, and what she could have provided for us. But in the meantime, you know, again, the song just goes to show like what she did. You know, I had little girls there dressing up like Selena. You know, they had their own custom outfits, and they're the next ones who are going to be like putting on her legacy. Yeah. You know, and she did that. Like that's wild that you could do that in the short amount of time she was here.
I'm trying to do the math in my head while you're talking. How many years that was?
I could tell. I could tell. He's like, yeah.
I'm like, 2020.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been a long time.
Now repeat what I just said.
You know, the video's emotional.
Yeah, it's very emotional. So, which again, it wasn't intentional, but I'm glad that people still have that emotional connection to her. And it's not about me. Yeah, I'm the artist who's singing it, but I just wanted to pay tribute to Selena as someone who didn't know me.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
and that was cool. But my initial thought, you already said it, but my initial thought was kind of like, man, that's a scary place to go. doing a tribute to Selena, because for what you just said, like you were ready to for the backlash.
Yeah.
That's scary. Like,
Yeah.
because anybody could take it the wrong way and be like, oh, she's just, like you said, you're just using Selena for blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then the comparison begins.
Yep.
Or she was trying to be Selena. And I was like, man, that's scary.
We almost didn't do the song. We almost did not do the song because we were worried about, what are the quintanillas going to say? What are, the fans going to say? I told my dad, like, I don't think we should do this. And he's like, we got to do the song. Okay. So we did it. And I'm not going to lie, like, even the night before it dropped, I was talking to my manager and I was like, I'm scared. Like, it's going to drop today. And I was like, I'm scared. But so far, so good. I'm glad that we did it the right exact way. We didn't go over too much with the images of Selena to piss off anybody, and we just did it right. And I'm really happy, and I'm super just excited that the fans loved it. That was really what was important to me.
Yeah.
Her fans.
And again, my mom doesn't really listen to music. She's very she listens to her music from back in the day, Chalino Sanchez and stuff like that, right? So here as of late, I've been trying to show her, like, when I have anything Spanish related, I'm like, oh, mira man, I'm gonna play this, and I play the music. And she actually sat down, like, I'm not even making this up. She sat down, she started listening, canta muy bonito, and she was into it, and she liked the video. So again, props to you, what you're saying, you wanted the video to be that emotional
Mama.
thing and stuff, and it worked. Because again, my mom, she don't even watch TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that she liked it, it was cool to me, because I was like,
awesome.
oh, I'm gonna have her on the show soon. That's why I'm watching it right now. What do you think,
awesome.
Mom? Like, you know what I mean?
I love that.
But so that came out earlier in the year, around March, correct?
Yes. Sorry.
Correct?
Yeah.
Now you're like me trying to do the
Don't
math.
do that.
Like,
Don't do that.
Trying to do the math. Like,
Don't do that.
but at the beginning of the year, I just want to talk about your projects right quick. At the beginning of the year, you also put out in January, Volverás. So you've been working.
Yeah.
Volverás was a little bit different,
Yes, faster.
It kind of gave me like when I first heard it, I was like, oh, it's kind of like salsa-ish. But then you hear the Tejano in the background, it's like, okay, like, I get it. It's a little mix.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not even sure what we tried to label it as. I don't think we did.
Yeah, it was just.
Yeah, it's like a charanga type song, but I wouldn't even know what charanga is labeled under. International?
Ooh.
Regional?
Charanga. I only remember that song being mentioned, the charanga song from.
We're taking you back.
You're taking me back. So yeah, Volverás came out at the beginning of the year. You have JVaz, Selena, and you just dropped a single here recently.
Friday, yesterday.
This month, yeah. So this is what I get out of this song. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it, but it's called Amarte a Ti.
Yeah.
July 22nd. When I heard it, this is my interpretation, the music video in my head, right? Not the actual thing, but it's kind of like you're close friends with somebody, and then God dang, you fell in love with them. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, how do I tell them and how are they going to react? But I just hope they feel the same way I feel. That's what I felt when I was listening to the song.
You fell in love with me, is what you're saying.
This is what you're trying to tell me. Husband, I didn't say anything.
Wait, you're recording?
There he goes. I'm like, there he goes. But that's what when I heard the music, that's what I got. And I was like, I like this. And then obviously the Tejano feel to it. And it's pretty cool. I know it just dropped, but what kind of feedback are you getting on that single itself?
So far, so good. I just feel like nobody really, besides like the Selena deal, nobody really tells people like, it's kind of more like closed behind, like, like in the hip hop scene, like if something's trash, they're going to put trash can emojis. I've seen it because I've done it. But that's that I feel like that's every genre, but I feel like in Tejano, it's different. Like even in pop was like very upfront. People would be like, nah, trash. No, this, quality sucks or whatever, lyrics are whack. In Tejano, at least not on, I don't know, my comments or, the others that I've seen, people don't really speak up like that. They say behind closed doors, behind the back, it's very sneaky. I'm sorry, but it is. I mean, now it's that people are gonna start putting trash cans and shit up.
This is what you want? Okay. We were trying to be nice. But
No, well, what I'm saying is, I haven't received any bad news, so I'm hoping that's just good, But I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's different in this genre versus the other ones that I've been in before. But yeah, I mean, people love it. They've shown that they're dancing to it. It's very catchy, so it sticks in your head, So I think that's what people love in music, something that gets you through the day because you're just like, you're cleaning or whatever. You're just singing along,
How you clean?
This is me cleaning my kitchen.
Saturday, Sunday morning, Saturday morning.
yeah. So, so far so good.
Yeah. I gave you my interpretation of what I saw of Volverás. Can you just give us a little detail on the writing process and how Volverás came about?
So Volverás is actually a record that my dad and them had recorded in the 90s with Los Agues. That was their band.
Yeah.
But it never got it was released, but it never did anything. It just stayed right here. It didn't actually get promoted or pushed or anything like that. Because obviously they didn't have what we have now. Yeah. And it was just them. So they didn't know what was going on, So, I was like, dang, I've always loved this song. Let me see if, try to. So we got with Hugo Guerrero, which is Charanga King. He just ran away with it. So I don't even think I was born when the writing process happened on that one. It's that old.
So I don't know.
I don't know, but I just know that it's a very good song. It's fun. It's catchy. And that's really what I just try to go with my music is to make it fun. Try to bring that to Tejano, Not to say that Tejano's boring. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's not that it's boring. It's just...
It is missing something.
Something.
That's why it kind of disappeared in a way.
It's like the same thing. Shows...
I'm like, what's happening?
You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. There's no I don't know. Me personally, I think I'm just missing the spunkiness. Maybe I'm overlooking it. If I am, please let me know. But I just wish that we could. And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, Tejano's not the way it used to be." Well, probably never will be because we're missing Emilio, Selena, Stephanie Lynn, all the fun times. But doesn't mean we can't just revamp it or.
About La Mafia.
My bad.
By La Mafia, yeah.
All right. Are they sponsoring you or something?
No. Actually, her hat is brought to you by.
Whoa!
I didn't even know. So that's an older song. It's
an older song in the family.
Bringing it into because usually when you listen to old songs that were written back in the 90s, like you said, 92?
I don't even know. Yeah, in the 90s.
I was 5. So when you take those lyrics, it's you don't really imagine it, in today's music. But the fact that I guess you guys did a real good job writing it because you're able to transition into new music, and bring it into to the light now. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Thank you. I have a very musically inclined family.
Yeah,
so it's not that hard to at least for them, not me, to do something like that.
Yeah. So your dad wrote that song. You write your other songs, or it's also written by?
I can't really claim to be a writer. I'm not. I don't get into my feels and know how to write them down in a way that's not corny. Because it's just hey, I love you. I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Check this out. It's whack. I already know. I tried. I do write down ideas for songs, this would be fun, different or whatever. But other than that, I gotta have help, and that's okay to admit.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like artists has this thing over us sometimes where it's oh well, I guess because the rap game is different. If you're you're not you're not a real rapper. But in other genres, it's fine.
In Spanish music, that's one thing I always tell people. In Spanish, norteño, tejano, whatever.
Yeah.
These songs are from the original writers are not even alive anymore. And it's okay. It's just a different flavor of music with the newer artists. And it's actually cool that the songs staying alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Throughout the years. And for some reason, hip hop, that's not cool.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering because you did mention that your Spanish isn't, on point.
As
fluent. But when you listen to your music, you really can't tell.
can't really tell.
Like, I mean, because you can't.
I'm
I
on
would've
point.
and I'm going to tell you why I can't tell. When I was talking to Veronica, I was like, do you want me to do the interview in Spanish or English? And then she's like, you can do both. But that's how confident I was in your Spanish, because I was like, I can do it in Spanish because you sound good in Spanish.
Oh, thank you.
So that's what I was trying to say before you throw something at me. Like,
You told me what?
No, but yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I was. My parents both speak Spanish. My grandparents, everybody speaks Spanish, but I guess I wasn't. You know what it is, and I'm pretty sure you could probably relate to this. Before they taught you, they don't want you to know what
Spanish
they're talking
is my first
about.
language.
Okay, get out of the room. Get out of the room. I'm gonna talk to these people. When they were talking some schmack, they didn't want me to hear it or know what was going on.
Take you out the room.
No, they start speaking in Spanish.
Oh, that's what.
So I'm like, dang. And then by the time I knew it, I was an adult.
Yeah.
And they're like, you don't know Spanish? I'm like, no, I don't know Spanish. So yeah, I'm in the process of learning Spanish, but it's getting there. It's just, learning a language when you're older is very
but
hard.
That's so cool though, because again, you say you're not fluent in it, but when you're singing it, it sounds so good that it's like you could have soared. Like I remember who was the Cumbia King guy, DJ Kane. Mm-hmm. He didn't even know Spanish, but then you would hear him singing Spanish. It's like, bro, how?
Yeah.
How are you doing this if you're not that fluent?
I can read and I can sing in Spanish very good.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask me a whole ass conversation, I'd be like, I'm gonna put my manager Veronica here because she told you what?
Come talk in Spanish for me. Just to give people a quick little of who Jenny B is outside of being Jenny B. Mm-hmm. Talks about this balance of life. We made the comment earlier about your husband and stuff, but trying to pursue this career is crazy because this music is exactly. Take that deep breath. It's crazy. Like it takes so much out of you, but still trying to find that balance of being a mom, being a wife, and just being a daughter, and just being Jenny B when the cameras are off and you're at home. So talk to us about that, finding that balance, because I still struggle with it.
Yeah, I do still struggle. It's very hard. It's not for the mentally weak or emotionally. Like it's really takes a toll on you. Because then you get in your own head, because there's times where like right now I'm in Houston, Texas, and my kids are at home with my husband. And
Shouts out to the husband.
Shout out to Marshall. Yeah, he honestly is the ride or die. Like, I'll thank him right after I thank God. Like, when I win my first Grammy. But
I like that win. No, because I always feel like that's how you're supposed to say win, not if. It's win.
When I get there, yes, he will definitely be living in that luxury with me. But it's very tough. I would not recommend it to anybody. I am very headstrong, and I know I have my family. I have a whole family. I have my family and his family that support, what I do. So, they're always willing to help with the babysitting, financially, or with, my parents always go with me when I go out of town. I have their support. And it really takes that support system. If you don't have that support system, whether it's a friends, family, like people at your church, like if you just have somebody that is 100% on your side, there to support you, you have a chance. It's more than just the money and the time and everything, because dude, I have this whole support system, and there's times where I'm like, I can't do this. I'm tired. I'm broke. I feel like I'm neglecting my kids. I'm trying to balance. Literally, in the next month, I'm going to be balancing, school for my son. His birthday's right there. Now he's in football. I have shows coming up. We're going to be doing a tour. I have an album coming out. Like, it's a lot. And like I said, I want to break down, but I don't know, man. I think it's just I can't do nothing else.
Yeah.
I can't be hired nowhere.
That's why I'm like, man, that finding that balance.
I have no plan B. Okay, this is all I know. This is it. There is no plan B. I mean, my husband has a company, and because sure, I can run that or whatever, but that's not an option. Yeah. This is it. If this don't work out, I have nothing but my eyes on that prize, because there is no other roads. I don't have a college degree. I never went to college. I did office work. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no plan B. This is it. So if I don't win that Grammy, I'm just gonna come back here and we're gonna do podcasts together. You're gonna hire me.
I was about to say, I don't know, Jenny. Like there could be a plan B. You're a character. I started following you on TikTok. Then the way you act here, I can see the options being available.
No, dude. Like
it's like no.
Like when it comes to just happiness, I am not. I'm my happiest when I'm doing my music. When I'm when I'm on stage, there's nothing like it. When I'm having a good set, man, like I just don't want to leave. Like I could be on that stage. I don't know how to explain it. No, I don't want to say something corny like I can fly.
No, but I completely understand. I understand where you're coming from. About 2 years ago, I thought I was done podcasting. I was like, I'm done. I'm tired of it. My dad had just passed away, and that was like my biggest, like my backbone to everything. So I was like, I'm just gonna take care of my mom. I'm done. Then Garza calls me. GT Garza calls me. He's like, hey, I need you to interview me for my upcoming project. And I was like, bro, I don't even got a studio. He's like, bro, we got 2 weeks. Figure it out. So I sat down with him. I interviewed them, and then it clicked. I was like, man, this is when I'm the happiest.
You feel good.
I forgot about everything that was happening outside my life. And it's so you believe you can do anything, even fly, like you said.
Yeah, it's just like that high, that I guess someone like me who likes attention, when you hear like the crowd or whatever, it's just like, y'all want another song or what?
My set is up, but
y'all okay, I'm gonna walk off now. Y'all just keep clapping. Yeah, so it I don't know. I think if you're gonna have a family and you're going to continue your career, you better have that support system, be financially ready, and be mentally ready, because it's not so much people getting you down. Yeah. You're going to get in your own head about being, like I said, I'm a bad mom, my kids miss me, but but at the end of the day, this is my career. It's like if I was a lawyer, spend hours in the office, weekends, in whatever business I'm going to, or I leave for a week on business. It's the same thing. And I hate when people, especially with mothers, they're like, oh, well, where are your kids at? And I'm sorry, are you asking the lawyer man over there where his kids? No, nobody does that. Yeah. So.
You did mention here in the upcoming months, you have your kids' school, your music, and everything going on, which makes me wonder, are we going to have a tour, Tejano tour coming up? We should get you on the road, have you over there.
Yes, we are. We're looking. I want to
go to these shows. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I'm actually in the process of dropping my very first album at the end of January. So we're going to be having a huge album release party / birthday bash, because it's also my birthday. So be on the lookout for that invitation, because it's going to be exclusive. Like, this is going to be the biggest. We're going to literally make this the biggest event besides the Tejano Awards event of the Tejano community. I'm telling you. Like,
that's awesome. Looking
money
to it
is not an object.
Hey, he's like,
my dad's like, yeah, no, it's going to be huge. I'm really excited. And then from there, we'll most likely, tip off with a tour with my band. It's exciting. I'm so scared. Like I'm scared and I'm excited, but it's that rush, of doing something. Like, I've never dropped an album, I've never done a tour.
Before we talk about the album, let me ask you this. I know you mentioned on a previous interview that you were going to drop a single a month. Is that still something we're going to get?
No. So with the album coming, I think besides Amarte Ti, I'm going to be dropping a hip hop song, a rap song. And you know what? After this, I'll let you listen to it so I can get your opinion on it. All so right. The exclusive.
So I'll put the emoji or the trash can. You asked me.
That's crazy, because you're only gonna have the fire emoji. You're not gonna know other options. Yeah, so I'm gonna be dropping that hopefully right before the holidays, because the holidays it's more of the industry kind of is not what it is during the summertime. So we're gonna work on gearing up for the album and stuff, so that when I drop the album, like, it's just gonna be, instead of singles, I'm just gonna be dropping like music videos, photo shoots, touring, it's just gonna be all about that album. So I'm excited.
Is it too soon to speak more about the album? Like, how many tracks? What can we expect on it?
It's not too soon, right? Oh, sorry. You'd have to pay.
Yeah, you have to pay to know more.
Pay me. Dang!
Let's go.
Can I open it? Yeah, no, I can't speak too much on it. But just by judging what I've already dropped should give you a clear example of what this is going to be. It's just going to be a dope ass dancing party, you know, that's something young and fresh.
Yeah.
You know, I think people are going to be excited about it. It's different for them. I don't blame them. A lot of people don't like change, but I feel like my job is to bring my generation to this, you know?
Yeah.
So if they don't like it, I don't know what to tell you.
No, but yeah, that's all we can do. We can't worry about the people that listen to the old school radio station DJs and they don't like me. It's like, hey, my generation, if my generation likes me, that's cool. And we'll bring light to it.
And that's the goal. That's all I'm trying to do is just, you know, get people who love to dance. If you love color, if you love having a good time, then you should love Jenny B. Do it now.
And you guys, it's just good vibes.
Period.
Like yeah, it is.
Imagine if we were drinking.
No.
If I had a Topo Chico right here. Yeah, no, it's just that's who I am.
Yeah.
I love to laugh. I love to be with my family. I love, you know, being colorful in my life. And I think people can relate to that and, you know, be part of it.
So, before I let you go, if you were a taco.
God damn it.
I'm just kidding. I had to do it. I like. Hopefully by now she forgot
I'm
about
gonna
the
go get a gym membership because everyone just keeps bringing up food to me right now.
I had to do it.
But to answer your question, asada.
What kind of taco would you be though, for real?
Asada taco.
Asada.
You know, it's a little thick, juicy. Sometimes you gotta pick up after it.
Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. Makes total sense.
You gotta add the onion and cilantro.
But I thought you already came with flavor.
Yeah, but asada comes with flavor. Yeah. But I always throw something different in there.
She quick with the answers. No, but I just want to say this is cool. This was cool to have you on here talk about Tejano music. I love Tejano music, so you're my first Tejano artist that I have on the show, period. So I do appreciate your time. Amarte Tia available now on all streaming services. Make sure you guys check that out. And for anybody who might not be following, but will be following you after this,
period,
where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at officially_Jenny B, or you can just go to my website, because I'm paying for it, at jennybmusic.com. And you can find all my stuff there, social media, YouTube, merchandise, all my good stuff. Tour, everything. Updating tour information, label. Look at me. My album, all that good stuff you can find at jennybmusic.com. And please follow. I really appreciate it. I love you all. I love all my new fans, my old fans who's been ride and die with me. My family, I love you guys so much. Without you, I am nothing.
Let's go. Vivirá Selena available now on streaming services. Make sure you check that out. Also check out the video. It's really cool. And the latest single that just dropped here recently. I don't know when this is dropping, but I'm going to clip this. So it just dropped yesterday.
Period.
Amarte Tia available on all streaming services as well. Jenny B from San Antonio, Texas. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you.
Looking forward to having you back over here whenever the album drops, and we'll talk about the album.
Let's go. I am always here.
Make sure you guys follow her on all social media pages. You're watching Texas Underground. Let's go.